Hello, 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 hello. This is Father Adam sharing with you more good news that I know you can use. So I asked my aunt, who's been married for 42 years, to my uncle, who is an alcoholic, and not only that, a very problematic person, as many of you that have watched my videos from Poland know. And she says, I was able to remain married for 42 years, and I'm still married because I have given up my right to be right. It hit me. To be in community is more important for my aunt than her right to be right. To have a family is more important than her right to be right. To be together is more important than her right to be right. And what is it like for you? Do you have to be right? You know, after John Paul II, the Polish Pope, was elected as the president of the Roman Catholic Bishops' Conference in Poland after the Second World War, the very first act that he did, along with Cardinal Kominek from Wrocław, is they wrote a letter to the German people after the Second World War. And in that letter, they wrote, "We beg for your forgiveness. We Polish people beg for your forgiveness and we forgive you." Now, who invaded who? The Germans invaded Poland, set up concentration camps in Poland, destroyed Polish cities. Warsaw was 85% destroyed. Hitler wanted to put a lake there. They murdered, tortured, devastated the entire country and the people of Poland. And Pope John Paul II writes to the German people, "We beg for your forgiveness and we forgive you." Why? Because the key to peace is humility. You got to give up your right to be right. And that is why right now there is no border between Poland and Germany. I just went to Germany, and my aunt who lives in Germany, my Aunt Barbara, she lives near Hamburg. There's no border. Hamburg has hundreds of thousands of Polish people living there. It's like streets with Poles, and lots of other cities. There's peace. Why? Because of humility. Now, the communists were saying at the time that Pope John Paul II said that, they were like, "Look at this. This is what the church is like. The church wants to subjugate you." Because this attitude that I'm right destroys. It destroys families. It destroys marriages. It destroys societies. You have to give up your right to be right. It's like the whole debate today in the United States about abortion. Nobody wants abortion. Pro-choice people don't want abortion. Pro-life people don't want abortion. But nobody wants to listen to each other. Pro-life people don't want to listen to pro-choice people. They just want to yell at each other. They just want to be right. Give up your right to be right and start listening. If more people would start listening in this whole pro-abortion and anti-abortion movements and all of that stuff, there would be less abortions. Because that is the goal. You don't want a woman to go through this horrific procedure. Who wants a woman to go through that? Pro-choice people, normal pro-choice people don't want that. And pro-life people don't want abortions. Hey, there is common ground, but you got to give up your right to be right in order to start listening. Hello? And the same thing in your marriages. You got to start listening. Why is it that you have trouble in your marriages? Because you're not listening to each other. You don't know what one needs because you don't listen. It's like this couple that came to see me, and they're on the verge of getting a divorce. And they start fighting in front of me. And I said, well, this ain't going to work. So I said, okay, can you please leave? And so she left, stepped out, and I was talking to him. And he starts telling me about his traumas, all that he sustained, the abuse he sustained as a child, and all of that. And then he starts to cry. And so I said to him, I said, has your wife ever seen these tears? And he looks at me and says, no, she's never seen these tears and she never will. Now you understand why they're getting a divorce? Now I know why you're getting a divorce. Because you don't talk to each other. There's no communication. There's just talking at each other. Now I always, when I'm speaking with somebody, I have to catch myself. And I think you should do the same thing. And here's the question. Am I listening to the person I'm talking to in order to come up with an answer to what they're saying? Or am I listening for the sake of listening? You know, it's like the people who are like waiting to just jump in right when you're talking. No. It's like sometimes when I'm speaking with somebody, people are like, well, what are you going to say now? And I said, well, hold on. I don't have anything to say. I mean, maybe I don't have anything to say. Maybe I wasn't listening to you in order to come up with an answer for you. I was listening to you for the sake of listening to you. And that's what we have to do. That really impacted me when my aunt, who's been married for 42 years to a very problematic guy, says to me, I've given up my right to be right. And then she said something else. She said, marriage is two people who have learned how to forgive each other. Marriage is two people who have learned how to forgive each other. Hello? There's some good news there. Good news that I know you can use in your daily life. This is Father Adam Kotas greeting you with good news and a big kiss and lots of love. Good news that I know you can use. Hello, hello.